just so happens that I didn't get that much sleep last night. Not at all. I took a little tiny bit of a nap, and a lot of like downloading and processing was happening, and I wanted to talk about the the Mars Pluto conjunction. I think that's what happens on the 14th here. It's an auspicious aspect, and then a little bit afterwards, Venus conjuncts Pluto. Pardon me while I do a natural, very natural brushing of my hair. A lot of times I'm just doing this natural. It's it's like I'm observing my own self as an animal, just kind of doing this thing where it's like eventually, I stop doing it because I'm done. It's I've reached the purpose of doing it. First of all, the hair is coming out by the fucking handfuls, and then no, so I understand that a lot of people think that this is like, oh, you're just so stuck up, and it's like, no, actually, I don't. God, poor, really good-looking women. I was going to talk about what was actually happening here. I totally pointed it out, and I could refine it, and so that, well, there's some things that I'm still wondering about, but I'm pretty sure, according to the Jesus story, I'm spot on. This place. I leave it open that it's possible that a human civilization can emerge, but there's a trip system right now. No, I just happen to think that it doesn't happen here. And what Jesus Christ was somebody. I didn't want to talk about this, but maybe this is part of it because it has to do with now, was Jesus a man or a woman? It might not matter because this was the kind of person who was a threat to an establishment that didn't want you to know what was actually happening here. With what? Well, a lot of it kind of points at, well, this person was sure interesting, doing what? Doing miracles, and also had the combination of a little bit of salt and, spice and everything nice and sweet. And just the rumor has it that this person was very special. Now, I say that it's just a natural human being. And they couldn't hide much anymore. They're like, excuse me? I want a social life. I want to know if there's anybody here that I can be heard or that I can be of some use to somebody. And it, you can't here, um, because for one, you don't belong here as a human being. If you're a human, if when you achieve it, this is what I'm saying. Now, what does that mean? It means you have becoming means. I hope I don't just go off in word salad here. I'm so tired and doing brain surgery, but this is very real to me when I'm looking at it. It's like, oh, this is what I need to tell you. I mean, okay, so, man, this is so intense because I have to go to court, and I'm wondering, well, why do I got to go to court if I'm not going to be able to be heard? So I have to set that on the side burner, and I'm probably just going to call and say, whatever, with this restraining me to stop um, trying to upkeep the neighborhood of just let's keep the pollutions down. Includes light, chemicals, noises. I don't know. God, petition anybody? Who? Here I go looping to that again. Really. I have such other things going for me that is just gonna press through and go. I'm pretty sure it includes me just entertaining this like nobody has ever picked. It's possible that nobody on YouTube or in the world has ever picked up on this. Hi, Jesus, did you pick up on something? Yeah, whatever you do, don't pick up on anything here. Why not? Why not? What if other people get it enough and like, wait a minute, because they felt the same thing too. They're like, and now what if the truth is a lot of people are just lying dormant as human beings. They're sitting there going, see, the first thing that happens, see, if they talk about dumbing down, who says that? Well, the human beings say that. See, if you're born as a human being, you're outcasted by usually your non-human family. You have a non-human mother, you have a non-human dad, and you're just a problem because you were born human. You're very beautiful. You do an art form of something, but see, the human being is extremely beautiful. They are being born here as men and women, embodied as love. They are achieved, and a lot of them get the spirits sucked out of them if it's not hit by the medical, right? That these people are just shoving this stuff in them and they get another one bites the dust. Didn't make it into its full embodiment as just say, hey, no, I'm a human being here. And we need to establish our rights to what constitutes us. And I choose my words very carefully there because it's like, let's have this conversation, people. What does Constitution mean? Can you please put down in the comments what you find as a definition of what Constitution means? Because I'm having trouble with how terrible that there aren't any people involved in the Constitution. Not the way that they speak of it. They say it's the United States Constitution. It's like, no, it's a constitute. It's a the United States doesn't exist. If it's a landmass, you look at its Constitution. It doesn't need much law enforcement to be there, as its Constitution is supported by what? Okay, there's lava underneath. It's not fighting for its rights to have the lava so that its most buoyant self can rise up and be what all it can be. What does Constitution mean? Is it possible that America and the United States don't really exist, but what if there are two different types of people to be found here? There are non-human entities and human entities. I know I've never talked about this ever, and I can't hardly relate it to with like, well, maybe it's just the mind, which can't have existential reality. That's the non-human, but versus the heart, which is in fact scientifically hooked up. See, I've never mentioned it, so bear with me here. I always try to shift subject matter to see if I can catch an interest or not. Really, let's find out what a constitution is. That's fine. What does Constitution mean?